Thank you for your words. And thank you all for coming and celebrating. Look at this, ordained a priest. All these celebrations. Hard to find this with all the precious names when I had my 25th celebration. There's my ordination again. So I never thought those photos really existed, because after I put them in a photo album, they all went orange. And I thought, that's it. But then of more recent times, I've just resurrected them. And I look back and just, this is my novices. David's one of my novices, wherever David is. Probably one of the surviving ones. But my whole life has been kind of, in one sense I'd say stationary. I've been in places for quite a long time. The only places I've lived in is actually Hobart and Sydney and Melbourne. I've never been stationed at Marrickville, never been stationed in Brisbane, never been stationed in Adelaide or Papua New Guinea, thank God. And I've just been happily wherever I am. When I came here in the year 1995, as some people remind me from time to time, I started with a quote that simply said, if you want to make God laugh, tell God what your plans for the future are. Because in my future, I wasn't ever coming back here. When I was ordained, within 3 weeks, firstly I was told to go to Adelaide to do youth work, and then 3 weeks later I was told to go to Hobart to work on the parish and eventually maybe do the hospital work. Having done that for 4 years, I actually asked the provincial, could I be moved, because I felt that my threshold was just about to finish. And then the next thing he said, I was going to take and send it to Templestowe to be director of students. So it wasn't a case of a bit of light work, it was a case of changing focus. And over those years I got started to do youth retreats. We don't seem to get so. I was doing a lot of spiritual direction and directed retreats, and I worked with the Assumption Institute in Melbourne for 2 years, and they taught me a lot about spiritual life. And gradually I worked my way through. I was told I could go anywhere in the world for 12 months to learn what I needed to learn to continue on in religious formation. And I thought, well, that's a big offer, but me being me, I didn't know what to do with it. So I thought the easy way out was I wanted to go to Rome. I'll go to Rome and say, I want to go to our general house and learn what it is to live passionless life within the world context. And then I could go to the Gregorian and do 12 months study. When I got to Rome, I was thoroughly disappointed. The people didn't really want to know you. Lived in a monastery, everyone spoke Italian. There might have been about 6 English speakers. And if you couldn't speak Italian, well, you didn't exist. And I couldn't speak Italian, obviously. And so I had to do a 4-week course in Italian at Perugia. I came back and I could just ask you to tell them what a handkerchief was and but I couldn't really talk about myself that much. I couldn't even really sing Waltzing Matilda according to the church tune, because they said, oh, that's not the way we've heard it sung before, but suddenly from a person who really couldn't sing, Waltzing Matilda was the best I could do, and that kind of filled in the concert bit. But while I was over there, I used to go back to Melbourne. When I finished my studies in Rome, I was then told I was going to be novice master. Then I was told, now Peter, you can choose, where would you like the novitiate to be? I thought, oh, I'm not going to go to Sydney. Not going to go to Sydney. I looked at Geelong, so I moved all the stuff down to Geelong. I got down there. The next one was told, well, Peter, we've decided it's going back to Sydney again. So I put all my stuff and then it got to Sydney. And a lot of those sort of plans just sort of, this is not what I wanted. But every time things have changed, I've benefited from it. And for that, I am appreciative of all of you. It's not, well, the booklet had 3 photos of me. And when I said the black and white one was where I started, and when I said on my ordination card, look over the back and there's just information about me, but blank. And I thought of it the other day and I looked at it. What was that? And probably because when I was ordained, I didn't really have much of a clue about what I was doing, where I was going, or where my future would be. And I thought that was probably what do they call it, psychological insight, a sort of an unconscious awareness. And so having a ordination card with no symbol or words on it, it just was pretty, that was natural. I mean, not wanting to be the centre of attention and all those sorts of things is part of my nature, and probably missed out on a few things in that way. But when I got to the 50th order card and looking at both of them, I said, yeah, no, that black and white photo is when I came down here. When I came down here, you talked to Denise Connolly or Tina Conway or Shay and those, and they'll tell you what sort of person I was. I knew everything, and kept everything within the balance so that I wouldn't be kind of caught short. And if we had a discussion, I always came out on top, and that was the way it was. But part of my clerical sense was that I had to be in charge, and I had to have things, I had to know everything. What about I didn't know anything, but I could say a few words and get around that. So when I moved, and the hospital was a good place. Kathy Barter was there, and she used to be a ward sister on 2D. And whenever I went down, we'd have a bit of a chat about patients around. And then she went to supervise the hospital in other wards. And so we used to get together, and she'd tell me, this is what's happening, or these people might appreciate a visit, or, come around at about 10 o'clock tonight, you might find you needed. But she was a great support. And my friendship with her is very, very precious to me. I spent some time with her yesterday. So, I started out as a black and white bloke, then going to Rome and being put in charge of students in novitiate. Well, again, I wasn't any older than the ones I was actually forming. When I was 28, I became the director of students. Well, a lot of the students were older than I was. What could I tell them? What would instruct them? But we managed. And then novitiate, well, that was a great cataclysmic situation, because the role of a novice master is just so much more, use the word intense, but it's a significance within the religious order, because you're forming people to be religious. And I'm only 32 and trying to work out what am I supposed to be doing. So my novices taught me what to do, because of their misbehaviours, and that gave me the chance to continue. So I went from just that black and white bloke to the next photo there, which was a bit more colour in it. And I think that, well, that's a colourful time. That's what Mavis and Brian Boucher, their 50th wedding anniversary. And that's me at my ordination with all my family. And again, sitting quietly afterwards. So anyway, that's so I got to St Ives, and gradually colour came to my life. And the same with the second photo there. I think that was possibly having a cup of coffee with Gail, and everybody here knows Gail, my secretary. Gail's been here for 31 years and 4 months, I think it was. She cheated, she added a month, I think. Anyway, she's been here for 31 years. So she was the source of a lot of race-built informations and guidance, and without her being here, I probably would have been lost a number of times. But she just committed herself to St Joseph's, to the community, and she was going to conceive her life, as it were, through till in retirement, whenever that may be, just supporting us and supporting me. So as that went on, more and more colour. So I think the last one was confirmation, and Guy was confirmed, and Chris was confirmed last Pentecost. Guy's over there, and see the colour so red. It's the same colour that Jane was wearing at the moment. That red colour, because it's noticed, and you kind of. We're arguing, not arguing, discussing whether I'd wear gold today or whether I'd wear purple. Well, I call it lavender, but because it's not supposed to be totally purple as in lead. But anyway, I was going to wear purple. And no, it's not even them saying, no, you've got to wear gold, Father, you've got to wear gold. And I went, dear me. But the beauty of that was the fact that the gold vestments I wore were made by Miyako. And Miyako is a beautiful Japanese lady who contributed so much to our parish. And the gold vestments, and there's a blue set with the last last sewing and creative garments that she made for the parish, and I think probably made. She kind of retired and then came back out of retirement and spent months and months just putting all the braid and doing all of that. So the insistence of wear gold was divinely inspired because it brought the echo back into the fold. And every time you go to the church and you sit on those cushions, well, the echo paid for all of those. She said, I don't want to leave just money to the church. I want to leave something that's appreciated, and I want to be able to appreciate myself. And Father, my bottom gets so tired. So she paid for all those cushions to be made, and so whenever you go to the church and sit down, thank you, Nick. So that was the insight today in relation to the vestments. But just the words being said about me have been incredible. I don't know what words I use to talk about me, but I'm just so delighted. And thanks for coming, and to thank everybody who's contributed to the celebrations. I've tried to keep out of them. Normally that's not my style. My style is to at least be in there checking things afterwards. But just to stay away and not know what's happening, which almost succeeds. But just to thank everyone, and if I've forgotten anything, well, let me know. But as far as I'm concerned, you're go back to another parable, Jesus talks about the wheat field and throwing the seed around and goes onto the same soil and then comes up in different volumes. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're all the soil out of which all of us, all of our faith grows. And my contribution is simply to maybe show the way might be the first sprout that comes up, but if it comes up all by itself, well then it withers very quickly, the wind will blow it over. It'll all come up together, well then we get that strength. So when you're planting your veggies, I just think of, that's the way Christian life is, that's community life is. All in the same soil, all producing the same sorts of gift and talents, but ultimately we have to share that with others. And that's what I think we do. And I just thank you all for doing it for me. And I'm sure you thank me for doing it with you. Thank you very much.
Move the flowers. now?
Yeah.
Okay, I might roll you back then.